Production managers, are you ready to reimagine your teams so you can unlock and activate their full potential? Hi, I'm Roger Bailey. Over the years, I've worked on organizing, operating, building, and repairing equipment on production lines. Some of these production lines were low-tech, like the end-table lamp manufacturing company where I worked in New York City while I was attending university in the early 70s. Others were extremely high-tech, like the ones I worked on while I was a senior programmer analyst at IBM. For instance, one production line prototype was designed to create an automated computer chip manufacturing facility where sand was poured in at the beginning of the line and computer chips came out the end of the line. Here's more of my background having to do with your people. I have a BS in social science from Fordham, where I focused on anthropology because I've always been interested in how things evolve. And I have an MS in counseling from the University of Bridgeport, where I focused on how each of us operates best in ways that we can use to help achieve our outcomes. I've also taken a deep dive into studying linguistics, where I learned how our brains function and how our brains are structured in ways that are similar to how we have structured our modern high-tech computers and operating systems. But right now, I want to tell you about my hiring and managing profiling system, which gives production managers a clear-cut, easy-to-learn, easy-to-use, and practical way of improving production results by finding, hiring, training, managing, influencing, and motivating their current and future employees, their clients, their service providers, their own supervisors, and even themselves. My profiling system is the Language and Behavior Profile, or the LAB profile. The lab profile is not psychological. It is simply practical. Let me put this into perspective. Most of us have heard conversations about some people being toward and other people being away from, where toward is somehow considered to be favorable and away from is somehow unfavorable. But with a lab profile, we recognize toward folks as being goal-oriented and away from folks as being avoidance-oriented. Both of these groups fill valuable places in the workplace. Toward folks are best in situations where achieving the goal is the outcome, production, getting boxes out the door, scheduling, stuff like that. And away from folks are best in situations where avoiding problems is the outcome, safety, product testing, auditing, stuff like that. The lab profile teaches you 17 sets of patterns, and every person has a pattern in each of those 17 sets. The lab profile training teaches you how to have people reveal which patterns are their normal way of thinking, acting, and being motivated, so you can know if and where this person fits in your organization and know how to motivate them to join your organization if they fit and you want them. The lab profile is a way of understanding people and their tendencies in a practical way. It is also how to recognize their patterns. Where do that set of patterns fit in your organization? How to motivate and influence each individual with that set of patterns, as well as how to motivate and influence groups who have those same patterns. So what the profiling task the lab profile accomplishes is about finding a person's repertoire of patterns and helping decision makers figure out exactly where that set of patterns is needed for successful performance of the organization's overall outcomes. With the lab profile, I help production managers achieve better talent acquisition and management. The lab profile helps managers identify high potential prospects and employees and provide them with the support and the developmental experiences they need to reach their full potential in their organization. Better communication. By understanding the communication styles and preferences of each team member, managers can improve the way they communicate with and motivate their team, resulting in better collaboration and teamwork, improved employee engagement. By providing employees with an understanding of their own strengths and weaknesses, the lab profile can help them feel more engaged and motivated in their work, leading to more productivity as well as improving job satisfaction and longer retention. Scalability. The lab profile is easily scalable, so managers and supervisors can monitor and optimize their teams across multiple sites and locations. Customization. The lab profile is designed to be tailored to the specific needs of your organization, providing insights that are the most relevant and actionable for your team and your outcomes. When you profile your top performers, you end up discovering the innate capabilities needed for success in your organization. Ease of learning. The lab profile is provided to you as a video course. Participants in this course learn learn how people operate in 17 categories, including 54 specific ways of thinking and acting. Hey, this is a very complete and professional program which teaches you a set of skills which will dramatically improve how you and your whole team performs. You and your managers and supervisors learn how each one of your organization's top performers' common ways of thinking and acting is the best way of performing the task for overall successful performance on the job. Ease of use. And your managers and supervisors learn how to recognize exactly how a specific person operates and how to motivate that person and give them tasks in which they will naturally succeed. This means that you and your managers learn how to ask specific questions and learn how to recognize a person's patterns by how that person responds to those specific questions. Ease of use. In the video course, you and your supervisors learn how to ask those specific questions and learn how to recognize a person's patterns by how that person responds to those specific questions. You also learn how to recognize how each specific person operates and how to specifically motivate that person and give them tasks at which they will naturally succeed. Maintaining focus in work situations. The questions of the profile are all focused on work. The significance of the responses are focused on work. Each of the 54 patterns you learn about include information about how managers can motivate and influence people in the workplace who have that specific pattern of thinking and behavior. Reframing your beliefs about thinking and behavior. Each of the patterns taught in the lab profile are presented without value judgments. These patterns being taught are neither good nor bad. The lab profile is about identifying the patterns of a person and knowing how to utilize those patterns to achieve the outcomes of your organization. Reframing your thinking. As you learn the lab profile, you will encounter information new for you, and you will start to understand how some patterns you had previously thought of as bad or inappropriate may actually have a place where that particular way of thinking and acting is actually the solution to an age-old problem. How to get started with the lab profile. The lab profile is a 2-day video course, and you purchase access to this course. It is a complete 2-day training program which has been packaged so that you can learn how to perform the lab profile interview, recognize a person's patterns by how they answer the questions, and motivate and influence individuals and groups because you know their pattern. How to get started today? Click the link on the page where you've been watching this video and sign up for the course.